Well, thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise Live on E as we continue on this Tuesday morning. Now, obviously, we've had the African National Congress, which held a pivotal national policy conference last week. And obviously, in less than 5 months, the governing party is heading to an elective conference to elect the new top 6, as well as the members of the National Executive Committee. This morning, we are joined in studio by the Speaker of the National Assembly, looking at the fact that we've just had that policy conference. And of course, she also wears that hat of the chairperson of the ANC. I'm speaking about Baleka Mbete. She joins us in studio this morning. Remember, to be part of our conversation, you give us a call on 011-447-1742, alternatively 1620. Also leave your comments on our Facebook as well as our Twitter pages. I can never say welcome to our studio, as I think I must just say to you, welcome back.
Thank you very much for welcoming me back, and good morning to the listeners.
Now, when we're looking at what we left our conversation off, I think you were here about February this year.
Yes.
And we were speaking about the various developments in Parliament. Obviously, it was just after the issue of the secret ballot, no confidence. So we're going to pick up our conversation from where we left off. And where we left off was the issue of your bias towards the African National Congress, if you remember. And you articulated and you said, Faith, no, I'm not biased. Since then, you had obviously that secret ballot motion that was passed on by Chief Justice Mogoeng, who actually handed over the baton to you to use your discretion in whether or not the secret ballot should be held. You wanted to consult with the opposition parties. Where are you now with that?
Well, I've actually given all opposition parties, actually all parties, because the African National Congress, of course, is not an opposition party.
Yeah.
So I have given all of them up to the 14th to come back to me to express their views, just to assist, because that's how we normally work in Parliament. We always consult. We always try to pick one another's brains and therefore make sure that we enrich the process of processing issues that are before us.
Yeah.
So of course, what is at issue is really the mechanism, the detail of how the members must vote. Otherwise, the date is set. We've agreed that it will be the 8th. It's Tuesday afternoon, the 8th.
The 8th of August.
Of August. Either secret or open ballot. The Speaker is waiting to be enriched in thinking by all parties, and then we'll finalize that issue and come out.
My question then to you is, did you not know that actually you could exercise that authority? Because when the story came out, there were one side saying that, you see, we told you, the other side was saying, no, she was wrong. So did you not know that your area of influence actually can get to the point where you can use your discretion to actually initiate that secret ballot?
The rules of the National Assembly do not provide for the Speaker to make the decision to, go ahead and have whatever secret ballot or open ballot.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's an issue that has been discussed in Parliament, and members of Parliament voted for using an open ballot, because our constitutional order, in fact, Judge Mogoeng, Chief Justice himself, in presenting the judgment, did allude to the fact that there's every reason in our constitutional order to do things openly, because that's the kind of constitutional order that we are in. And so, the Constitution itself only provides for the President and the Speaker when there is somebody else also standing, challenging the candidate of the majority party, who are the ones who normally put forward the name of a candidate that must be voted as either Speaker or Deputy Speaker, and of course a President. But thirdly, there had been a previous occasion on which the outcome of that application by a member of Ahang South Africa, Honorable Tlowama, of course, left me with the basis to believe that there's no reason why I should assume And so now that the Constitutional Court has exercised its mind collectively and has come out with a judgment, which is its role, it is a good thing, and therefore I am now exercising what has been declared my prerogative.
And it's on the basis of the court, because there was an article, I think it was in the Times, that actually had quoted you as saying that some judges are taking sides against the ANC litigants in court cases involving them. So I don't like to assume things, especially when it comes to the media as well, because I am the media. And I don't want to quote you out of context. And we come back and we said, this woman quoted me out of context. Did you say this about the judges of South Africa, that in fact they're taking sides against the ANC litigants in court cases involving them?
I'd like to see that quotation, because I don't remember saying such a thing. I have raised as a concern cases, especially in the line of the work I do in Parliament, where as the legislature, we have reason to be concerned about the amount of cases and issues and occasions on which issues that are about the detail of the workings of Parliament, issues that are about the internal arrangements. For instance, in the papers of Parliament on this very case of the matter of the motion of no confidence on the President, we did point out that we have a constitutional role that has been clearly outlined in Section 57 of the Constitution, giving us the right to deal and to decide and pronounce on our internal arrangements. So that's all that I've always argued around. The fact that there are occasions on which concerns have been actually expressed is out there. We all know it. That in fact, when we differ politically, there has been a habit that has been growing on the part of colleagues in the political terrain to take those issues which are really out there for us to engage about until we get to a point where we are agreeing, either agreeing to disagree or at least finding some middle ground for ourselves. But instead of engaging one another, as in fact historically we did, even as we...
As democratic processes, instead of engaging with one another, you take it to court.
Then
so
they
therefore
go
the
and
problem
take
can't
issues
be with the judges. The problem then
it's
is with
not
your
with
colleagues.
the judges, it's with the colleagues indeed. But there is a space for the courts themselves to apply their minds on the very bringing of those issues to themselves, when in fact it's not really their place in certain instances. So I'm saying I never just put it out that way, the way you are saying it. I don't remember arguing for the ANC. I'm not necessarily the spokesperson of the ANC to just go out there and argue for the ANC. There are spokespersons, there's a Secretary General. Of course, I'm also a cadre and a leader of the ANC. So on certain specific occasions, I will answer questions that also call on that role that I also play.
He's asking about where you're taking this issue around women leadership. And because we had this conversation, you and I, the last time, and I even asked you, are you willing to make yourself available to lead?
Thank you, Lebu, for the issue you are raising. First of all, let me say that this is an issue on which the specific organization of the ANC that has put the matter on the table after its own last conference, where the matter had been part of a resolution that the ANC Women's League must put on the table for the ANC to engage with this issue, that it's time, after the ANC has turned more than 100 years, it's now 105 years, and it has had 12 male leaders, that it is time for the ANC to actually support and implement a resolution that says we are going to have a woman leader.
Well, those nominations are going to be opened in September. And now the allegations are saying that, in fact, there was a particular group, and I don't know which group, but the particular group that actually endorsed you, and you therefore accepted that endorsement. So the nominations are not open yet, but I'm going to ask you this question again. You accepted the endorsement according to allegations. Are you available to lead should you be nominated come September?
I think it would be odd if I were to reject nomination by branches of the ANC, by delegates of the ANC. Yes, I have always been a person that's ready to be given any job by the African National Congress. Of course, when at a certain time we were told stop, we stopped. I did not encourage my people who were already telling me that they wanted to nominate me. I said to them, no, it's not yet time. Of course, now it's after the policy conference.
And now the parties are saying ANC, go. And you are saying, yes.
I'm ready.
You're ready. Now, when we're looking at the issue of Busisiwe Mkhwebane as well, the public protector, you also since joined the voice of the South African Reserve Bank that obviously was looking to counter some of those recommendations she made in her findings, right? Your view on the public protector as well as the area or her jurisdiction in which she was actually wanting to amend certain aspects of the Constitution. Do you think they made a good choice by picking her?
I think Busisiwe is a good woman. I've met her. I know that she's bright. And in fact, the people who helped us to come to the conclusion that she was the best candidate were not wrong.
Okay.
However, anybody makes mistakes. All of us makes mistake at a certain point. And therefore, in the case of Parliament, we are not dealing with the content of what she raised in her remedial action that she announced on a particular day. We are simply saying it was incorrect the way this was done. She wrote to the chairperson of the portfolio committee. Now, when outside bodies and organizations, and even within the state sector, when the president is communicating with Parliament, he'll communicate with the Speaker or with the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces in cases where the matter is a joint matter. For instance, when he has deployed the defense forces somewhere, he would write to us, the two of us. He will not write to the portfolio committee on defense. Now, I'm saying Advocate Mkhwebane, unfortunately, wrote to the portfolio committee chairperson instead of writing to the Speaker and just expressing the outcome of her consideration of the issues relating to the Reserve Bank. She even went to the detail of indicating the actual words that must be used in what she was proposing should be an amendment to the Constitution. So we are just saying, no, we don't agree with the way she handled this matter, and therefore we would have to do it.
So she's a bright woman. She just has a lot to learn.
It was actually her first report, outside to the country, to the world, about issues she had looked into and reports that she had arrived at. So it's not, for me, a crisis. I hear some are even saying, no, she must step down. No, I don't think so.
Well, we're going to leave our conversation until next time you and I sit down on the same couch.
Yes.
And I don't know where you will be. You might be the president, you might not be. But the next time we're going to sit down. Not so fast.
Processes go slowly.
Speaking to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Baleka Mbete, on matters involving the state as well as the political party.